We'll check out Farm to Fork at the ranch at Las Colinas.
We'll have highlights from the Black Collar Affair 2019.
And we'll travel to Egypt at the Legacy Gala.
All this and more coming up About Town.
Hello everyone and welcome to About Town. I'm Susan Stevens.
And I'm Kathy Whiteman. So glad to have Susan with us as we ring in the holidays. So I have to ask you, holiday movies, what's on your list?
Well, I gotta say I love Netflix's, well they have many new films, but one that's standing out is Marriage Story, starring Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. They give incredible, heartbreaking performances, and that'll be out this month on Netflix. And if you want to go out to theaters, I think the big popular one is going to be Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker.
Okay, I'm trying to get my head wrapped around that, but okay, yeah, I'm a Star Wars fan. So.
Yeah, I mean, I am excited. I hope it's good. And I talk about Little Women later on in the show, and that'll just put a smile on your face at Christmas.
Greta Gerwig, just love her.
Yeah.
All righty, so we're so glad that you could join us too for news on the Salvation Army Super Lunch.
We'll also have details on Main Stage's Broadway Little Christmas and information on how to register for Irving ISD's ESL Workforce Program class.
As always, we'd love to hear from you. Let us know about a community event you'd like to promote on the show or a story you'd like to see.
You can email us at ictn@cityofirving.org or connect with us on social media. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you.
If you've ever had the elk tacos at the ranch at Las Colinas, you might have wondered, where do you find elk in Texas? Well, if you attend Farm to Fork, you'd get the answer. It's an annual event that connects the ranch's excellent vendors with patrons who like learning more. Here's some highlights in case you missed it. I can guarantee you'll want to be there next year.
Tonight we have our annual Farm to Fork event. Just a little something we do once a year to celebrate our connection with local ranchers and farmers and distillers and winemakers and breweries.
And we have them come out and they basically do a farmer's market. And we do it during Thanksgiving time. It just so happens to be our anniversary as well. We're all about stories here, and you could have a great burger or a great steak, and what it really does is give somebody, it makes it taste even better when you know the backstory behind it.
We've got, for instance, the Sweet House ice cream. This is just a little mom and pop shop that has a candy store in Rowlett. They make the absolute best ice cream. If I remember the story correctly, it's her grandmother's recipe in England, and they brought it over and they just built a shop around it. It's a great story. We try to source as much as we can from right here in the Lone Star State.
And bring in the freshest possible ingredients.
I think it's just nice to be able to find and talk directly to the people who are providing products that we use here.
And it's kind of cool because these are the guys that kind of support us throughout the year. Our guests knows the product, but they don't necessarily go out to the distillery and see it in action. So this way they can get up front and talk to these people and say, hey, what do you do? How do you do it? How do you make it taste so great?
So we've just invited all of our partners to come in and hang out with us for a night.
The ranch at Las Colinas is located at 857 Carpenter Freeway in Las Colinas Village. Visit them online at theranchlc.com.
The DFW Humane Society's signature fundraiser is called the Black Collar Event. It's a black tie optional evening, and the furry friends in attendance didn't need formal wear either. Here's a look at the fun ways attendees helped raise money for their four-legged friends.
Buffy and Rocky are just a few of the furry attendees at this year's DFW Humane Society's Black Collar Affair,
which is our annual gala, our largest fundraiser of the year. And so we've got a lot of different restaurants that have donated their food. We've got a lot of silent auction items, live auction items, and so we're looking forward to a great evening.
The event, which is often held at the Four Seasons, is now at the new Westin in Las Colinas.
Everybody's been great. They have gone out of their way to make us feel at home. And you know, we love the Four Seasons. We've been there for many years, but it's nice to have a little something different.
We're actually the first community organization event to be held here at the Westin. So one of the first galas for a nonprofit. And they've just been fantastic to work with. It's a beautiful hotel. The setup is amazing. And I think everybody's really going to enjoy the look.
The evening begins with guests roaming the silent auction items and tasting the many food options donated by local restaurants.
We have the Green Gator, Boy Na Braza. We also have designs by Gigi. They made 4 different flavor cupcakes that I've already tried. Don't tell anybody. They're delicious. Fish City Grill is here with us, the original chop shop. We have a couple of other restaurants. The Westin is providing quite a bit of food in addition to appetizers.
Bueno Brasa serves a traditional Brazilian dish.
We brought slices of picanha. Picanha is a special cut from Brazil, and we brought little slices of that, also with some Brazilian mashed potatoes as well. This is actually our 2nd year doing this, and we think that it's also a wonderful event. My brother did it last year. We're actually a family steakhouse, so things like this are wonderful for us. My brother and I grew up with dogs. I still love dogs to this day. So aside from that, we think it's a wonderful organization and something we'd like to be a part of.
The food is appetizing and the entertainment is fun, but this event is about helping the animals.
Every dollar tonight, every single dollar goes to help find homes for the animals.
Whatever challenges I may face putting together a gala like this just melt away when I look at the faces of the pets that I know need a good home.
I don't have actual children, we have furry children, and I think first the Humane Society and the City Animal Services are an incredible partnership, quite unique in the country, and so I want to do everything I can to support that synergy and find as many animals as possible for forever homes.
The 2019 Black Collar Affair concludes with a live auction, successfully raising money for felines and canines in need. For About Town, this is Susan Stevens.
Learn how you can help at dfwhumane.com.
The Salvation Army has a long history of helping families in Irving, and their signature fundraiser, Super Lunch 2019, is coming up December 10th.
Lieutenant Armando Acosta and Carol Boyer join us with the details. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Always so great to see you both, and just like the Salvation Army has a long history in Irving, so does the Super Lunch. Why is it such an important part of the mission of Salvation Army, Lieutenant Acosta?
It's very important because with those funds we're able to assist with disaster sometimes. You know, we had tornadoes not too long ago, and so funds are able to be used for that type of response. We also have about 130 children enrolled in our Boys and Girls Club, and so feeding them, paying the bills at the center, and doing extra things with them is also very important. We do rental assistance for some of our Irving citizens, and so that's important as well. Our food pantry, we need to buy the food for our food pantry. And we also have a special program on Fridays for our older adults in the community, and so that's important as well. So the funds for Super Lunch help us be able to do all of that.
That's a big bite.
It is.
Yeah. Carol, can you tell us what's planned for this year's event?
We have some really fun things planned this year. We have a super lunch speaker. Ben Nempton, who's from MTV's The Buried Life, and his book is a #1 best-selling New York author. And he and 4 of his friends travel around the country doing great things, checking off their bucket list and then helping others. So he's got a really great, inspiring story, and he's a lot of fun. And then we have our silent auction and our live auction. And every year the Boys and Girls Club kids do paintings for the silent auction that are huge. People fight over them to get the best one, and the prices on those, it's amazing because the kids do them and they're so cute. Live auction has a lot of fun things in it. Of course, a fabulous lunch. So we're really looking forward to it. It'll be fun.
It always is really a wonderful event. Lieutenant Acosta, you talked about the variety of programs that you guys fund with the proceeds from the Super Lunch. Do you have anything this year that's a special target, or what do you want to encourage people to do when they come to the Super Lunch?
I would encourage them to really pay attention to our speaker. He is an amazing speaker and he's got great ideas. And I would also encourage people to watch the videos that the children from the Boys and Girls Club have put together, because if there's anything that's gonna pluck at your heartstrings, it's the children. And so you know, that's a big deal for us, because I believe, and I'm speaking for our staff and a lot of our people that are at the center, but and Carol as well, and our advisory council, children are one of our biggest passions and their future.
Absolutely.
The place where you can make the most difference.
That's
too.
right.
Yeah.
Long term, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And so, Carol, how can people get tickets?
So the best way to get a ticket is to go to the website, which is www.bidpal.net/SA Superlunch 2019. And you can purchase your tickets right there. Of course, if you call the Salvation Army Center, or you can call me at the Irving Convention and Visitors Bureau, and we will help you get your ticket, of course, because we want you all to be there, and don't miss it. It's going to be great. Really going to be great.
Well, it is always a wonderful event. Looking forward to the speaker this year. Looking forward to being able to help make a difference with the Irving Salvation Army. So that's the Super Lunch 2019, folks. It's Tuesday, December 10th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Irving Convention Center at Las Colinas. The classic story Little Women returns to the big screen in a retelling that Susan says is definitely worth a revisit. Here's Susan with more.
I'm working on a novel. It is a story of my life and my sister's.
Make it short and spicy. And if the main character is a girl, make sure she's married by the end.
Ow, Joe!
Little Women is one of the most beloved stories. It's been adapted on screen twice before and multiple times on stage. However, I had yet to be captivated by this story until writer-director Greta Gerwig gave it her magical touch, creating a delightful, witty, and surprisingly funny retelling of this classic.
I want to be an artist in...
Gerwig's Little Women still has the familiar plot and characters you remember. There's bratty Amy, played by Florence Pugh, always sweet Beth, played by Eliza Scanlon, a conventional Meg, played by Emma Watson, and of course, the spunky and tomboy Jo, played by Saoirse Ronan.
I intend to make my own way in the world.
No one makes their own way, least of all a woman. You'll need to marry well.
But you are not married, aren't you?
Well, that's because I'm rich.
These women each have different hopes and dreams that remain current to today. Some, like Meg and Amy, have passion for acting and painting, but also desire wealth and love, while Jo is a dedicated writer who never wants to get married. These characters are dealing with big feminist questions in a small domestic way, and learning that just because their goals in life may differ, it doesn't make them any less valuable. Gerwig taps into the same honest vulnerability she succeeded in through her Oscar-nominated film, Lady Bird. Because the truth is, she knows how to write complex and emotional characters, especially female characters.
Jo is a lost cause. So you are your family's hope now.
Let's take, for example, Amy. She's often remembered for her tantrums, fights with Jo, and her unrequited crush on Laurie, who is initially in love with Jo. But through the brilliant, Oscar-worthy performance by Pugh and a fresh perspective on the character that shows depth and compassion, Amy not only has the best character arc, she serves the biggest laughs. And surprisingly, she's my favorite Little Woman.
I've always known.
We already know Timothée Chalamet shares great on-screen chemistry with Saoirse Ronan. But Chalamet's portrayal as Laurie alongside Pugh's Amy is an on-screen romance you can't help but root for. And for once, this relationship actually makes sense.
I'm just a woman. And as a woman, there's no way for me to make my own money. Not enough to earn a living or to support my family. And if I had my own money, which I don't, that money would belong to my husband the moment we got married. And if we had children, they would be his, not mine. They would be his property. So don't sit there and tell me that marriage isn't an economic proposition, because it is. It may not be for you, but it most certainly is for me.
Instead of the usual chronological storyline, Gerwig includes flashbacks during the film's 7-year period, treating the audience to a better understanding of her character's choices. Little Women is a beautiful and uplifting movie with a message that women's stories and their endeavors are worth telling. This is a Christmas Day film worth spending your money on and a joy for the whole family. For About Town, this is Susan Stevens.
It would be a disaster if we married.
It wouldn't be a disaster.
Okay? We'd be miserable.
I'd be a perfect saint.
I can't.
A new play written by Miss Jo Marsh.
Women, they have minds and they have souls, as well as just hearts.
I want to be great or nothing.
And they've got ambition and they've got talent, as well as just beauty. And I'm so sick of people saying that love is just all a woman is fit for. I'm so sick of it.
So, who does she marry?
Little Women opens Christmas Day at AMC Irving Mall and Alamo Drafthouse Cinema, Las Colinas. For fans of all things Broadway, Main Stage Irving Las Colinas has a performance to light up the holidays.
Craig Bowman and Amy Stevenson join us with news on Have Yourself a Broadway Little Christmas.
Yeah, whose idea was this? Having us on, they'll never get 2 words in. Okay, well, you can try.
Okay, so we're going to give it a shot. So my first big question is, oh my gosh, last year was so much fun. So this show is back by popular demand, yes?
Yes. The crowds were screaming for us. Just
us.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
that's not true.
I will say, since I was there last year and got called up onto the stage to sing beside you, yeah, it was a scary moment.
In reality, we are the only 2 returning cast members. Is that right?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, so kind of. We just added more
they
folks.
asked for us.
Okay, well, I think that's fantastic.
That's great.
Actually, they asked for Buddy the Elf.
And
I just came along.
Well, can you tell us about the rest of the cast?
Well, we're sort of emceeing the thing, which we thought we could just sit at a table and have our lyrics in front of us, but we've learned after one rehearsal that may not be the case. But
yeah, there's group numbers.
Yeah, they even asked about tap shoes the other day. I ran out of the room. However, we have 6, 7 people singing with us, and 2 of them were from the cast of A Chorus Line, Preston and Caitlin, and they were the couple that got engaged on the final night of A Chorus Line. And if you saw that show, obviously there's a little bit of dancing in there. So they are triple threats.
And we will be reenacting the proposal.
Are you seriously
Every
reenacting?
performance.
Oh,
sure, why not?
Well,
yeah, whatever it takes to sell a
moment.
ticket. Yeah, it was. And they have a really big tap number in the show. And then in addition to singing and taking a stroll down Broadway Lane, there is also going to be a very special unannounced, you've got breaking news here, a couple of scenes from The Nutcracker by a local Irving dance company that will be at the top of Act 2. So we even have a little dance this year.
We are having some
Buddy the Elf will be dancing with them.
Buddy the Elf doesn't do choreography, he just dances. So don't be them fall off the stage.
Actually call it dancing when you do it?
More
just asking.
I was going to say streaking, but that's not the case.
No,
more like,
yeah,
just going by as fast as you can.
Sounds good. All right. Are there still tickets available, and when are the shows?
There's not many tickets left, right?
So last
People
year,
want to see us.
Yeah, last year was our first time, and we sold. We did pretty well, but this year we've already toppled those numbers.
Wow!
And ticket sales are going up every day. But there are tickets to all 3 performances, which are
next weekend.
Okay, so I'll throw that party in December 12th through 14th.
That's right.
At the Dupree Theater.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All evening performances, 7:30.
7:30. Yes. But how are we using this money? How did we use it this year?
Well, the Guild helps us. In addition to the performance, there will also be a silent auction. I think last year we did cake raffles. I believe that's happening again. Shout out to Mary Bongfeld, who sold like $500 worth of her crazy chocolate rum cake, I think.
A lot of rum.
It all goes to support. Main Stage was a 501(c) nonprofit here in Irving, and helps them really up their production values of their shows. A lot more of like what you saw with the Chorus Line. Will continue on through the season. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited.
Me too. It sounds awesome.
Get your tickets now.
And get them in a hurry, because as you can see, these tickets are selling fast. Have yourselves a Broadway Little Christmas, December 12th through 14th at 7:30 p.m.
a Broadway Little Christmas.
In the Dupree Theater. We'll see you there.
Can you walk like an Egyptian? Well, all the attendees at Queen of the Nile walked, ate, and raised money at the Egyptian-themed party to support the Irving Schools Foundation's most important programs. Here are some highlights.
It's a night of exotic entertainment and animals as we travel to Egypt for the 9th annual Irving Schools Foundation's Legacy Gala. This year's theme, Queen of the Nile.
Humperdinck is a rescue camel. Last year was Bangkok, we had a live elephant, so each year we just have to keep topping ourselves.
The Four Seasons at Las Colinas hosts an elaborate evening with music and dancing.
Our MacArthur High School band who performed, North Lake Band, and then we of course had a belly dancer, which is, true Egyptian entertainment.
Guests also enjoy the taste of Egypt.
We served a hummus appetizer, which was just fabulous. The Four Seasons is great to work with us on the theme, on the food for our events. We had a lovely chicken dish, which was filled with spinach, and a baklava, of course, which is, you can't get a more traditional Egyptian dessert.
It's a fun night benefiting an important cause. as guests bid on silent and live auction items in an effort to raise more money for Food for Thought,
which is our after-school and weekend program for children to help feed our students in the Irving ISD that are hungry. They're basically hungry and they aren't getting fed at home.
The Irving Schools Foundation's goal of $600,000 was surpassed, thanks in great part to Christ Church of Irving.
We are making a commitment of $256,000 to do so.
It's a donation that will help the lives of thousands of children.
Just raising money for kids, especially hungry kids, is just such an important cause. We've seen amazing, amazing results from this.
As Queen of the Nile ends, preparations for next year's gala begins as we travel to Congratulations to the Irving Schools Foundation on another successful event. For About Town, this is Susan Stevens.
Learn how you can help at irvingschoolfoundation.org.
Irving ISD's ESL and Workforce Academy is a program for adult learners ready for new skills.
Delia Watley, Program Manager, and Juan Camarillo, Instructor, are here to tell us more. Welcome.
Thank you. It's always great being here with you, Kathy.
It is great to have you here. Now, the last time that you visited, you told us a little bit about what the Academy is, but if you wouldn't mind doing that again, because there may be some viewers who still aren't familiar.
Okay, well, Irving ISD, because we are a part of the community, we partner with Workforce Solutions Greater Dallas to offer English literacy classes, but also workforce skills classes. So the classes incorporate English skills along with a workforce industry specific cluster. And so we have 5 right now. One is the hospitality and tourism. We have the stalls entrepreneurship. We have digital literacy for the workplace. We have the office depot logistics for trucking, and we also have fuel education. Okay.
So it gets people ready to enter the workforce with the skill set that they need to.
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So what are the requirements for registration?
The requirements are they have to be 18 and over, and they have to bring a form of ID to prove who they are, and just their willingness to come and learn. We'll take care of the rest.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
Easy enough.
Absolutely. So what do folks need to do in order to get registered for the class?
So our next registration will be held January the 8th. That's a Wednesday. We'll have a morning registration and an evening registration. And so folks 18 years and older can just come with some type of proof of identity and register for the classes. The locations, one will be the Annex Building, 820 North O'Connor, and then Austin Middle School that evening, 825 East Union Bower.
That's great.
Great. So how can people learn more about ESL and the Workforce Academy?
By clicking on the Irving ISD website, go to our website and look under Community Programs. And under Community Programs, you'll see AEL, Adult Education and Literacy.
Adult Education and Literacy. This is a great idea. Kudos to Irving ISD for getting out there and helping the kids and their parents.
Yeah. Absolutely. Ms. Hernandez, our new superintendent, she is very dedicated and focused on providing literacy skills not only for our K through 12 kids, but also for parents and adults in the community.
Well, this is a great way to make it happen. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Yeah,
thank you.
Folks, a few more details for you. Registration is again on January 8th. And classes start on January 9th. You can call 972-600-6130 for more information. The Irving Art Center's annual tree decorating competition is up and running in the main gallery. This year's theme is A Season of Masterpieces, and you can vote on your favorite through December 15th. Here's a look and a list of other fun ways for you to find the holiday spirit about town. are some other ways to capture the holiday spirit happening about town. Irving Police and Fire invite you to the Blue Christmas Chili Cook-Off, Saturday, December 7th at 9 a.m. in Heritage Park.
The annual holiday parade kicks off at 5 p.m. on Saturday, December 7th in the Irving Heritage District with the theme Santa's Workshop in the North Pole.
You can also support Irving Police and Fire Blue Christmas at the Pancake Breakfast with Santa, Saturday, December 14th at 9 a.m. at Plymouth Park Baptist Church.
And the Irving Art Center hosts a second Sunday Fun Day on Saturday, December 14th from 2 to 4 p.m. in Suite 200. For information on all events at the Irving Art Center, call 972-252-ARTS. And that wraps up this edition of About Town. Thanks for joining us.
Please be sure to tune in next time for one of my absolute favorite shows. It's the annual About Town Kids Holiday Special.
I love that show. Our wonderful group of kid reporters and hosts will give their take on all the holiday fun in Irving.
As only kids can.
Yeah.
We'll leave you tonight with a look at the Kingdom Choir in performance at the Irving Art Center. For About Town, I'm Kathy Whiteman.
And I'm Susan Stevens. Have a great evening.
You better